nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah.
In Charlotte, I have great friends there. I have my life there. I did, come to a point where I was feeling a little stuck. I needed something new, something different, something to continue pushing me and challenging me.
Welcome to the living room. Leave the over at the door. We'll talk it out till it's simple.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Living Room Wisdom, where your story is your glory. I am so thrilled to invite so far my youngest guest. She's 25 years old and absolutely killing it in her industry, which is so impressive. So this is Sarah Clemens, and Sarah is the sales director in the advertising world. She's helping brands get smarter with their marketing instead of louder. I love that. To create real demand. She built her career on clear strategy, local expertise, and genuine relationships rather than buzzwords. So we're going beyond the Instagram reel here, right, of success, which I love. And so what I want to start with is just tell us a little bit about yourself. I have a little bit of insight on your journey, but part of the reason that I wanted to have you on is because of like your most recent journey and what's up for you right now. So just share a little bit of that.
Definitely. So a little background. Definitely a little bit younger than especially a lot of the people I work with, but
Yeah.
I grew up St. Louis, born and raised, went out to South Carolina for college, so that was my big move the first time ever. It was exciting, it was great, I loved everything about it, and then afterwards stayed on the East Coast for a little bit, got my first job in tech sales after college. It was nice, I liked it, it wasn't fueling me, I didn't feel connected so much to the industry. So that's when I, was taking a look, found my now company, Simplify.
Yes.
So I've been there ever since.
How long's that been?
Oh my gosh, it's been 2 years, which is insane
Okay.
to think about. But so I've been there. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina for a long time. And I think this is what you're trying to ask about here. Made a big switch recently to come out to the West Coast. So that's been a huge move as well. Trying to reestablish myself in SoCal now as an advertising expert, finding, more people to network with and connect to and speak with, as well as just personally, finding friendships again and rebuilding everything. So it's been a journey, but, we're here. I wouldn't have met you without it. Yay. So it's been awesome.
Well, that's what I think that's part of what I really admire and respect about you and the little time that I've known you. I see a little bit of myself in the sense of you're not afraid to take risks because
Definitely.
you were in Charlotte, right?
Yes.
North Carolina. You had your family, you had your friends, you had established yourself. And the fact that you made a decision and with your company at that to go to your boss and be like, hey, I think I want to move here. Can you essentially create a position for me?
Right.
I think that's amazing. And I don't think that that's the headspace and the mindset that many people your age have. And so tell us about that, because you initiated this move you went from a small pond to a big pond.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So you moved to LA from North Carolina. And not only did you move to LA where you knew no one and you're completely reestablishing yourself, but you're also breaking a new market.
Yes.
So tell us what that's like.
It's been honestly great so far. I think, coming into my position, our company, we're very focused on the relationship first, right? So they always encourage us to go to networking events, chamber events, business expos. That's where you and I had met.
Exactly.
So they're always encouraging us to get into the market, to meet new people and make those connections rather than, sit behind the camera all day, take the Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
Of course, that's just part of the business. We work remotely technically, so it's a lot of our days, but having those in-market experiences and being pushed to do in-market things and events and everything of that nature, that really helped me in Charlotte when I started at this company, just allowing myself to step out of that comfort zone. It's always scary going to events. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be the first person to say, yes, I love it. I every part of it. It can be uncomfortable, especially going by yourself, right?
Yes.
You don't know anyone. You don't really have anyone to bring with you. So I think that was really, really important and helped me drive the decision to go ahead. I know I'm capable of starting in a new market. I know I'm capable of
Love it.
doing things and being open to things that maybe I wouldn't have if I hadn't been at Simplify already on the East Coast and, started to do those types of events. So
Would you consider yourself by nature an introvert or an extrovert?
I wish-wash. I think I wish-wash. I lean more extroverted, I would say. But I'm
sure that was helpful.
Definitely. Definitely need me time to recharge. I love being by myself. I love just hanging out with my dog and the quiet of it. So probably leaning a little bit more extroverted though.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I think that you can't grow if you stay in the same environment. And so by placing yourself, literally putting yourself in a position to be challenged and evolve, what did that mean to you beyond business growth? What did it mean to you to choose to move to this new market and break it?
Good question. It meant a lot. I love the saying, nothing changes if nothing changes. Yeah. In Charlotte, I have great friends there. I have my life there. I did, come to a point where I was feeling a little stuck. I needed something new, something different, something to continue pushing me and challenging me. So taking that step and actually making the move.
Very different.
Surprised myself a little bit with that one, but it just reminds me that I'm capable and everything always works out how it should. It really does.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it meant, just trusting myself a little bit more. Trusting that I don't know everything that's going to happen, but I know myself enough that I'll make this work and it'll be amazing.
Well, I think you've found a formula that works. And in my short time knowing you, that formula is being true to yourself.
Yes.
And being present with yourself and listening to yourself and really just being connected with your own needs, because with this position in general is something that, as you said, kind of fell into your lap, right? So before you stepped into this position, which from where I'm sitting, it feels like an elevation. It feels like you're being positioned for success you may not even have imagined for yourself because you didn't necessarily choose this path. And so before you actually stepped into this company and this role, what was your vision? Like what did you think you would be doing?
Oh my gosh, so many different things. Even high school, I was interested in everything, and mock trial and, volunteering in the emergency department and just trying to test my hand at one, what I'm good at, and two, what I like. So my interests were so vast, even going into college. Like I wanted to go to pharmacy school for a long time.
Oh, wow.
So I was taking all the chemistry classes and everything of that nature. And so I don't think I ever really had a straight vision of what I want to do, who I want to be. Just open.
Just open for
timing is everything. You and I always say that timing is everything. So
totally.
I think, it's a little bit different because I hear a lot of stories about people saying I knew exactly what I wanted and I went and got it. I think for me, I don't know what I want still yet. I'm still figuring it out.
I love that.
I know what I like and I know when I don't like something, but
you're in the becoming.
Yes,
very much. And you're allowing yourself to be in the becoming instead of allowing society to tell you need to choose something. You got to pick a lane. You're like, what are you doing?
Definitely.
I think there's the magic. There lies the magic.
Yeah, stressful sometimes.
Of course.
But
of course.
I think ultimately, it's anything is possible. Anything is out there, and Lord knows what I'll be doing next month.
This actually leads me to another question, though, because specifically your generation. Now I sound like an old fogey, but your generation. I don't know how else to say it. You all are you have a lot of access. You have a lot of possibilities. It's this Instagram culture where you see all of these things, this lifestyle that people have or pretend to have. And how does that affect you internally? I want to know this because obviously I have a daughter who's going to be 30 and I have 4 other children as well that are in or around that generation. And it just seems like there's a lot of pressure to be something that you may or may not be or to fit into other people's boxes. How are you navigating that? Is it something you struggle with? I'd love to know.
Yeah, I think social media, you hit the nail on the head. It makes everything accessible. So whether it's, seeing someone driving the greatest cars and taking trips all the time, that's something I see all the time on my social media feeds. It's like, how do you balance working and being out of the country 24/7? Or how are you able to do these things? Like, am I behind a lot of times?
That's the narrative, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it also is really interesting, and from my viewpoint, is with social media, it's becoming more difficult, or at least more uncomfortable, to actually get out there and make the connections. Because
Online.
Well, even in person.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so. I think, we're so quote unquote connected on social media, but we're not really connecting.
Very
We're connected with our ideal lives, the lives that we're
The
pushing
performances.
out. The performances. We're not connecting on any sort of
human
deeper level.
Yeah.
So that's been something that's interesting to kind of see where we're going with social media. And even I have younger siblings. So seeing my younger sister even and her relationship with social media and her peers in school and everything of that nature, it's very different, and it keeps kind of trending that way. So we like to think we're all connected because of social media, but it's kind of having some sort of disconnect as well.
Yeah, it's access versus connection.
Exactly.
And that's actually one of the things that drew me to you at the expo, is that I felt connection. And it's so rare these days to feel connection. You know, you were running the booth, and I'm coming over to kind of see what you guys are up to over here. But you didn't treat me as like a prospect. You weren't trying to sell me.
Yeah.
You intentionally, I felt, connected with me on a human level first.
Well, I agree. We were just laughing.
We were totally laughing.
We were just hanging out, you know?
Yeah, and it was intriguing. It's like you don't have to do that. You don't have to, lead with this very like salesy thing in order for yourself and your business to grow and expand.
Definitely.
So I really appreciate that. How do you stay so grounded in this Instagram world as a young person developing your identity?
I think it just comes from my circle. Like, I have the best people in my life. My friends are ride or die. My family I'm super close with. So having that circle to be able to go to and say, maybe I am struggling with the comparison game or something of that nature.
Okay.
Like, my girls are there for me.
Yeah.
So I think that helps a lot when you find your people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've been able to maintain those relationships even though you moved away.
Yes, that's been very tricky.
It's tricky.
But it's been, they get it. All of them live in different cities as well. So
Okay, that
it's
helps.
trying to figure out, okay, when can we chat? Let's plan a visit. Let's plan a trip.
So you don't have as much FOMO because it's not like you're seeing them get together every week and do all.
right.
That's good.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah, we're all just in the same position. Like, we're all good.
Figuring it out, navigating
Exactly.
this thing called adulthood.
Crazy.
Where everybody is starting to go into their careers and maybe have partners, and you're at that age.
Yep.
So, I always had children. I was born with children, so I don't really remember that stage too much. But
Yeah, and I'm hoping not for children for a little bit longer.
right, hold off on
Put that on the
that.
back
Take your
burner. I got
time.
things to do,
So what has it been like to succeed in a career that you fell into, but you do enjoy,
Yep.
while still craving a version of yourself that is living her true mission, right? Like, you don't really know what it looks like per se, is what you said, but you're just kind of following the breadcrumbs. And so what does that feel like for you?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think, like you said, I pretty much fell into this job. It was, I was looking for a different job. I wanted to stay on the sales side, and, I found Simplify, and they found me even. They reached out first. So
They hit the jackpot.
Hit the jackpot. So it was, going through that and then falling in love with the career and falling in love with my clients and what we're doing for them, creating that demand for them, and actually making a difference in their businesses. It's amazing work, and I love it. I will say also, on the point of falling into a career like this, I didn't know anything. It was such an imposter syndrome at first. I would be in conversations and they would talk about a CPC.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck is a CPC? Yeah. Like, what are we talking about? So there's a lot of knowledge that I didn't have that I felt really stressed and very impostery holding that job, trying to catch up, if you will. So it was a lot of late nights trying to figure out the industry even, as well as try and, continue to build relationships and start that process. So yeah, it was a lot.
It's very impressive. We just recently had a call. What was that, yesterday, day before?
Yeah,
a professional call in regard to her Simplify services. And honestly, I was in awe. I was so impressed by you. I was like,
Thank you
geez,
so much.
you would think that you've been in the industry for like 10, 12 years, like seasoned vet. So,
Thank you so
I know
much.
inside you may not have felt that,
Right.
as confident, but
Right.
you present just beautifully.
Thank you so
Very
much.
knowledgeable. She was in front of my media partner who's been in this industry for well over 10 years and like a pro at what he does. And the way that
Amazing
you
guy.
navigated the questions and like you were so prepared.
Thank you so much.
It was wonderful.
I
So
appreciate
I'm
that.
excited for that
Thank you.
connection.
But it's funny because I will go out and market and dress up, and I still tell myself oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I get to dress up. I get to cosplay a
Yes.
businesswoman. And I just sit there and be like, wait a minute. No, I am a businesswoman. Like, this isn't a cosplay thing. I am one. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
still a learning curve. I'm still trying to figure out that portion, get over that hump of it. But
Yeah.
we're getting there.
I
day by
feel
day.
grateful that we met when we did, because now I feel like I get, front row, get the popcorn, and I just get to
Watch the
witness.
come up.
Yeah, watch them come up. So, what parts of yourself did you have to stop performing? Speaking of this imposter syndrome, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when you're starting in something like this, you do have to kind of perform like
Right.
what you think this looks like. And what did you discover underneath the version of you that was trying to look like she had it all together?
Yeah, I think, the imposter syndrome definitely plays a part in that.
Yes.
I like presenting well.
Yes.
I like
We all
playing
do.
the part. Of course, it's, my best foot forward. It's keeping that kind of cover and you want to work with your clients and your partners and do
Yeah.
everything you can for them. And sometimes, though, and I'm learning this still, is that you don't always have to, one, know everything,
No.
or two, be perfect. Having deeper connections and showing my clients vulnerability, even little things of, oh, like, what a crazy day. Like, I just ran into
The
something with my car.
humanity.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's sometimes those create the best relationships. So I think, growing up, it was very be this, do that, be structured, be perfect, have the good grades, have all the hobbies and the extracurriculars. And I think it took a lot to even get to the point where I am now, where it's like, okay, Sarah, you don't have to be all this. Like, you're
Yeah.
abandoning those parts of you that want to be seen and want to be heard and want to be vulnerable. And I'm not saying that I'll go into a client call and,
Bawl
spill
your
my
eyes
heart
out,
to
right?
them. Right. I don't want to do that either. But it is
Yeah.
something where I don't have to be so stiff.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely a portion of trying to find within myself again.
I think in our parents' efforts to create an environment for a better life for us, sometimes things can sway a little far in one direction or the other.
Yeah.
And I've been guilty of this because I'm an overachiever, high achiever, perfectionist. I say recovering. Sometimes I say recovered, and then I realize I'm still in recovery. But I know that that's had an effect on my children as well, where, one of my children is very much like self-conscious, perfectionist, like everything, and will like fall apart if things aren't perfect.
Right.
And so I really am impressed by how you're finding your way and how you're navigating through this. Do you have any rituals or processes, or like, what do you do to maintain your authenticity and your connection with yourself in a world that demands so much of you?
A lot of therapy.
A lot of therapy. That's
I
good.
do. I've gone to therapy for a decade, and I think it's so helpful to understand why you react a certain way and different things like that. A big ritual, especially recently, is gratitude.
Yeah.
I have my gratitude journal by my bed, and I write 3 things I'm grateful for, what I want to get done in the day, and then at night I say what I'm grateful for again, and recap of the day, what good things happened to me.
Yeah.
So that's been really game changing in terms of like the mindset. Because you can, say you will change anything, but it really starts with your mindset and starts with how you think of yourself, how you think of the world. Are you grateful, or are we, cup half empty here? So just putting that into play has been super beneficial too.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're very intentional.
I try to be. Of course, I have my days.
Of course.
But trying to just be there, be in the present moment, especially when, holiday season and crazy schedules and all that good stuff. It's really important to take even 5 minutes.
Agree.
To just quiet, slow down, and just be grateful.
I love it. Oh, you're so grounded. And
I
it's
try.
It's fantastic. And I feel like maybe your Southern background contributes to that in some way as well, perhaps.
Definitely could. Yeah. So my parents, they're from St. Louis. So very Midwest, very, chill. Nothing really crazy happens there. But I think it's funny because my dad was a stay-at-home dad. My mom was the breadwinner. So I feel like that probably plays a lot into everything as well.
A bit of a game changer. And it also, I'm sure, gave you a different perspective than many in regard to the parental roles.
Yes.
And there's probably an unspoken empowerment that happened with you seeing mom out in the workforce. And
yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
What? I'm
she
actually
kills
really
it.
glad you said that, because I was sitting here wondering, like, we as women in the workplace always has its interesting nuances, we'll say. But you're beautiful and you're young and you're vibrant and you have this glow and you're climbing the ladder, if you will. And so how has that played out for you? Do you ever feel like uncomfortable? Like, have people tried to date you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like this would be a very common thing, especially in today's world, in the industry that you're in and with the amount of people that you're coming across.
Yeah, definitely. I think there have been times when, I go into a meeting, I go to a networking event, I meet someone, we start talking business or we start a friendship where, it never was about the business. And so it can definitely get a little
see that.
uncomfortable, a little frustrating. But ultimately, it is one of those things where, like, I'm pretty good at advocating for myself.
Awesome.
And if it's going away that's awkward, like, it's probably we can,
and I hear
move
my
it
mother
right
calling
along.
me. Like,
Exactly.
Jeez. Well, thank you for sharing that. That just was
course.
something I was wondering. So as we start to round this out, right, there's a lot of women listening. My primary audience are 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, right? Yep. So they're really more like mature women, some of them midlife, things of that nature. And so they're exhausted from decades of chasing a version of success that you're actually on the path to trying to ditch and dodge, right? And that it never felt like their own. So I'd love for you to just share a little bit, kind of representing them as their younger self, right?
Oh, I love
what
that.
wisdom do you have for them, and what can they learn from you?
Oh my gosh, I love that. I think it really does go back to just being open to opportunities. Things come your way, things happen, whether it's getting invited to a Wonderful Woman's podcast or going to different events or whatever that might look like. You don't really have to have the whole vision and have all the puzzle pieces there. Sometimes it really is just going with the flow and letting timing do its thing. I think if your intentions are good, things, good things will come back to you. So, you don't always have to have it figured out. And that's so cliche to say. And I know
it's true. It's a great message.
Yep, it really is. And don't stress yourself out or, put yourself down for not having it figured out, because God knows, even on social media, I'm sure none of them really have it figured out either. It's the portrayal of it.
Exactly.
So don't take it too seriously. Just be open and let life happen sometimes.
Yeah, when things get too stringent, it's easily broken.
Yep.
Right? So stay flexible. And I think I'll add that it's never too late to make a new choice.
Yep.
So with that, thank you so much for being here. I think this was a great conversation. I could sit here and talk to this woman all day long because I'm so curious. But for now, we are just happy that you joined us for another episode of Living Room Wisdom. I know that you gleaned some wisdom that you can implement into your own life as soon as possible. And with that said, go ahead and explore our Sovereign CEO Collective, women like Miss Sara and many of our guests. Join the collective as a sanctuary to be seen, heard, and held holistically, all parts of themselves, not just business, but also life in general. So if that's calling to your soul, go ahead and take a look at that. There's a link in show notes, and connect with Miss Sara on social media. We'll have all her information in the show notes as well. And until then, we'll see you next week, same time in the living room where your story is your glory. Make it a wonderful week.
Welcome to